Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, Mechanical Psychology. Most people don't understand this. It's Saturday morning, and for the first time all week, you finally have a day off. No boss, no deadlines, no obligations. Yet instead of sleeping in, taking a vacation, or doing what most people call relaxing, you're lying on cold concrete under a car. Your hands are covered in grease, you've spent hours chasing a strange noise nobody else can hear, and somehow you're completely happy. The standard explanation is simple. People say you love cars. They call it a hobby, a passion, something fun to do on weekends. But if that's all it is, why does it feel so much deeper than entertainment? Why do you feel calmer after rebuilding a carburetor than after spending a day at a luxury resort? Why can fixing an engine sometimes feel more therapeutic than talking about your problems? Psychology suggests there's something much deeper happening beneath the surface. Today we're exploring the hidden psychology of people who spend their weekends fixing engines instead of relaxing. More specifically, we're exploring a personality pattern called mechanical empathy. This isn't simply understanding machines, it's feeling connected to them. It's the tendency to see mechanical systems not as objects, but as relationships. You don't just hear an engine, you listen to it. You don't simply diagnose problems, you interpret signals. Notice subtle vibrations, tiny changes in sound, and small differences in behavior that most people never even perceive. Psychologically speaking, mechanical empathy is a heightened sensitivity to cause and effect systems. Your brain becomes deeply rewarded by understanding how things work, and more importantly, by restoring order when something isn't working correctly. To outsiders, it looks like you're fixing an engine, but internally you're satisfying much deeper psychological needs. Most people seek relaxation, you seek understanding. Modern life is chaotic, relationships are complicated, careers are unpredictable, and the future often feels uncertain. An engine, however, follows rules. If fuel, air, compression, and spark are present, it runs. If something is wrong, there is a reason. This predictability creates psychological safety. Neuroscientists often describe the brain as a prediction machine that constantly tries to reduce uncertainty. When you diagnose mechanical problems, that's exactly what you're doing. You're reducing chaos, creating clarity, and finding certainty in a world that rarely offers it. That's why fixing engines doesn't drain you, it restores you. The process gives your mind a sense of order and control that everyday life often cannot provide. Many people think dopamine is simply the brain's reward chemical, but it's more closely associated with pursuit, progress, discovery, and anticipation. For enthusiasts, the greatest satisfaction often isn't hearing the engine finally start. It's everything leading up to that moment, the troubleshooting, the research, the experimentation, and the detective work. Every clue creates another small burst of motivation, every solved problem another. Your brain becomes deeply engaged in a meaningful challenge, which is why a weekend spent diagnosing a mysterious issue can feel oddly satisfying, even when nobody else understands why. This is where things get even deeper. Many people process stress through conversation, others through distraction, but some process stress through action. Mechanical work creates what psychologists call attentional absorption. Your focus narrows, the noise disappears, and the outside world fades away. For a few hours, your mind has one objective, one challenge, one task. In that state, anxiety often loses its grip, not because your problems disappear, but because your attention finally has some way productive to go. The garage becomes more than a workspace, it becomes a refuge. People with mechanical empathy also tend to value mastery over entertainment. You don't just want to use something, you want to understand it. While many people are satisfied when a machine works, you're curious about why it works. This reflects intrinsic motivation, the desire to learn for its own sake, not for money, status, or recognition. Understanding itself becomes rewarding. In a world increasingly obsessed with convenience, you remain fascinated by competence. You also often see part of yourself in the machine. When an engine struggles, you understand struggle. When a neglected machine is restored, something about that story feels familiar. Machines age, wear out, break down, recover, improve, and endure, just like people. Psychologists call this symbolic identification. We connect emotionally with things that mirror our own experiences, and for many enthusiasts, the machine becomes a reflection of resilience. It serves as a reminder that broken doesn't mean finished, and that restoration is always always possible. This mindset also explains why many people who love working on engines dislike disposable culture. It's not stubbornness, it's a respect for permanence, repairability, and longevity. Rebuilding an engine reflects a belief that things deserve a second chance, that value can be preserved, and that effort matters. This long-term perspective often extends beyond cars into relationships, skills, and personal growth. There's one final trait that ties everything together: analog intelligence. It's the ability to understand reality through direct observation and interaction with physical systems. People with this trait notice patterns, sounds, textures, and mechanical feedback that others miss. They trust experience, not just information. While modern society increasingly rewards digital interaction, their minds often feel most alive when engaging with something tangible, real, and mechanical. Ultimately, this passion isn't really about cars, engines, or tools. It's about agency, the feeling that your actions matter and that your effort creates change. Every repaired engine is proof that broken systems can improve, that patience matters, and that progress is possible. That's why what looks like work to everyone else often feels like peace to you. And perhaps the machine was never just something you were fixing. Maybe it was helping you repair something inside yourself as well.